Hello and good morning, friends. So let's start our today's topic with genetic codes. Genetic code is a collection of base sequences that will correspond to each amino acids. A single nitrogen base is a codon will encode only for four different types of amino acid. Combination of two bases will specify only 16 different types of amino acids, and the combination of three amino acids will specify 64 amino acids. Hence, G. Gamow in 1954 suggested that there must be a combination of three nitrogen bases that will be sufficient for 20 amino acids. Thus, there would be 64 different codons in the dictionary of genetic code, and each has a triplet codon. So genetic code is a triplet. It was first evident by Crick in 1961 using frame shift mutation. It is evident that the changes in nucleic acid result in change in amino acids of proteins. Hence, the genetic code direct the sequence of amino acids during the protein synthesis. So here you can see the genetic code dictionary where this is a first letter on this side, there is a second letter and there is a third letter. So if first letter is UCAG, second letter is again UCAG, and the third letter you can find the four column, they all have four different bases. So that is how they are making a combination of three nitrogenous bases, and here it is a 64 genetic codes are present in the pair of 3 codes, and every pair, every genetic code is specified for a specific amino acid. Here you can see in the dark bold letters you can find the UAA, UAG, these are the stop codon, and UGA, this is again the stop codon. So that is how they are specified for specific amino acids. So let's start the characteristic of genetic code. So first, the genetic code is a triplet codon. As we had already seen in the dictionary that the genetic code sequence of three consecutive bases, they are constitute a codon which specify one particular amino acids, right? So second is a genetic code has a distinct polarity. The genetic code shows distinct or definite polarity. That means you always have to read them in a 5' to 3' direction. You are not supposed to read them in a 3' to 5' direction, otherwise their meaning will be changed. So that is how they have distinct polarity. Number 3 is genetic code is a non-overlapping. So code is non-overlapping, that is each single base is a part of only one codon and adjacent codon do not overlap with the previous one. That is how they are non-overlapping. Then fourth one is genetic code is a comma-less. So there is no gap or any punctuation mark between the consecutive codon. That is how they are comma-less. Then number 5 is genetic code has degeneracy. So usually single genetic amino acid is encoded by a single codon. However, some amino acids are encoded by more than one codon. That is, example is cysteine has 2 codon, but their first two bases in different different codon and they are identical, but the third one will be different. So that is how they have degeneracy in their codes. Number 6 is genetic code is universal. So that you can see that the specific codon is specified for some specific amino acid. That is example is AUG is always specified for amino acid, that is methionine, in all kind of organisms. That may be bacteria or that may be a human being, but AUG will always specify for the methionine. That is how they are universal. Then number 7, that the genetic code is non-ambiguous. So the specific amino acid is encoded by a particular codon. So two different amino acid will never encode for the same codon. That is how they are non-ambiguous. And the next one is that they have initiation and termination codons. So we have already seen in the dictionary that AUG will always known as initiation codon, and there will be stop codon will be UAA, UAG and UGA. They are known as termination codon. So always initiation and termination codons are fixed. Then last one is that they have codon and anticodon. So codon is a part of DNA. That example is AUG is a codon and is always represented as 5' to 3' direction, and anticodon is a part of tRNA which is always been represented by 3' to 5', which will be UAC. So these are the important characteristics of genetic code, which is really important for the examination purposes also. So next is, what is mutation? Mutation is a phenomena in which sudden changes in the DNA sequence happens that result in change in the genotype. So mutation can also occur due to the change in single base pair of DNA, that is known as point mutation, which we had already studied in last chapter. That is example is sickle cell anemia. Then the deletion or insertion of base pair of DNA can also cause the mutation, which is known as frame shift mutation or the deletion mutation. Now next is tRNA, the adapter molecule. tRNA is cloverleaf structure of tRNA that possesses anticodon loop that has bases complementary to the codon is known as anticodon. That shows amino acid acceptor at 3' end having unpaired CCA bases to which amino acids bind. For every amino acid there is a specific tRNA. So let's start our process of translation, which is known as protein synthesis. In previous video we had already studied about transcription. So now we will study about translation. Translation is the mechanism in which codon of mRNA are translated and specific amino acid in a sequence form a polypeptide on ribosomes. The process of translation requires amino acids, mRNA, tRNA, ribosomes, ATP, Mg++ ions, enzymes and elongation, translocation and the release factors. So those were requirements of the process of translation process. Then what is the mechanism of translation? Mechanism involves 3 important steps. One is initiation, second one is elongation and third one is termination. So first start with the initiation of polypeptide chain. The activation of amino acids before translation, small unit of ribosomes that binds to mRNA at 5' end. AUG, which we had already studied, that this is the initiation codon. Its initiation codon to initiate the process of protein synthesis. Initiator tRNA binds with the initiation codon by its anticodon, that is UAC. It carries activated amino acid, that is methionine. Then large subunit again joined with the small subunit of ribosomes. Then second step involve elongation of polypeptide chain. In this process, the amino acids bind with tRNA that form an amino acid tRNA complex. Then addition of amino acids occur in 3 steps. One is codon recognition, where amino acid tRNA molecules enter the ribosomes at A site anticodon bind with the codon by hydrogen bonds. Then B is amino acids on first initiator tRNA at P site and the amino acid on tRNA at A site, that joined by the polypeptide bond. Then third one is translocation. The tRNA at A site carrying a dipeptide at A site that moves to the P site, and the process is called translocation. Then third step is the termination or release of polypeptide. At the end of mRNA there is a stop codon, which is UAA, UAG or UGA. Any one of those stop codon, it is exposed at the A site and the release factor that binds to the stop codon, thereby terminating the translation process, and the polypeptide is now released in the cytoplasm and mRNA is also finally released in the cytoplasm. So here is the diagrammatic representation of the steps involved in the protein synthesis. So here you can see there are three steps A, B, C. So A is a initiation of polypeptide chain, B is a elongation of polypeptide chain, and C is a termination of the polypeptide chain. So first let me explain you first A. So here you can see that the initiator tRNA, the small subunit of ribosomes that binds to the mRNA at 5' end. Here initiator codon, which is AUG, is present on an mRNA and which initiate the process of protein synthesis. Now the large subunit, you can see in the second picture, the large subunit of ribosome that join to the smaller subunit that requires Mg++ ion for the joining. And in the third picture you can see that the P site was occupied, that A site is vacant of the smaller subunit of ribosomes. Let's come to the elongation of polypeptide chain. So second picture, B picture, you can see that the activation of amino acid, they are added one by one to the first amino acid, and the amino acid is activated using ATP. ATP is an energy molecule which is required to activate the amino acid using this process. So you can see now A site is also occupied. In second picture you can see the A site is also occupied, and then the then the polypeptide link are formed. You can see in the third picture that the links are formed, amino acid links are formed, and it takes only 0.1 second for the formation of polypeptide bonds. Let's come to the picture C, where you can see the termination or release of polypeptide happens. So at the end of mRNA there is a stop codon. So stop codon will come at the polypeptide chain, which may be UAA, UAG or UGA, and it is exposed at the A site. You can see here A site, the stop codon is joining. Then the release factor binds to the stop codon, thereby termination of the translation process happens. So you can see in the third picture that the termination of translation process happens, and they are released. So mRNA is also released and the amino acids are released, and their mRNA, they are released in the cytoplasm. Then later on they denature by nuclease enzyme, and the process of formation of protein synthesis happens. So here the translation or protein synthesis happens, and the protein are synthesized with this process. So I hope you get exact idea what the translation process and how genetic codes are important in this translation process. So in next my video you will be able to understand how genes are regulated, what is the operon and lac operon concepts. So I hope you will enjoy and you will understand some processes of transcription and translation with the help of this video. So thank you for watching.